The backyard glowed with pink and blue balloons, the crowd cheering as my wife, Marissa, raised a glass at our gender reveal party, her smile radiant. To the man who made this happen, she said, her eyes not on me, but on him, our friend Derek. My heart stopped, the applause a roar in my ears, her words a betrayal that cut deeper than I could have imagined. I'd paid for every detail, planned every moment, but in that instant, I was invisible and something in me broke. The August sun hung low over our modest backyard in Franklin, Tennessee, its golden light glinting off the mason jars filled with lemonade, the air thick with the scent of grilled burgers and honeysuckle. I, Clifford Ramsey, stood by the folding table I'd set up at dawn, my flannel shirt damp with sweat, my hazel eyes scanning the crowd of friends and family. At 35, I was a logistics manager at a trucking company, my broad shoulders and close-cropped brown hair unassuming, my life built on quiet effort and love for my wife, Marissa. Today was our gender reveal party for our first child, a boy, a moment I'd poured my heart and savings into. But Marissa's toast, thanking Derek, not me, had turned my pride to ash, her betrayal a spark that lit a fire I didn't yet understand. Marissa was across the yard, her auburn hair glowing, her sundress hugging her 6-month bump, her laugh a melody that had drawn me to her 7 years ago. We'd met at a local diner, her wit and warmth a magnet, our marriage a steady climb through lean years and shared dreams. The party was my idea, a celebration I'd planned meticulously, renting tables, ordering the cake, rigging the balloon box that burst blue an hour ago. I'd spent $2,000, dipping into our emergency fund, my hands folding napkins, stringing lights, my heart full of hope for our son, for us. But her words, to Derek, who made this happen, echoed, a public erasure that left me reeling. The moment had come after the reveal, the crowd cheers fading as Marissa raised her glass, her eyes on Derek, our friend since college, a real estate agent with a slick smile and easy charm. This day's perfect because of you, she'd said, her voice bright, the crowd clapping, Derek grinning, his hand brushing her arm. I stood frozen, my beer warm in my hand, my smile a mask, the audience feeling my shock in the clench of my jaw, the way my eyes darted to Marissa, searching for a mistake. She knows I did this, my internal monologue churned, confusion spiking. Why him? Derek had helped grill, sure, but the party was mine, every dollar, every detail. I moved to the grill, the sizzle of burgers a distraction, my mind replaying the toast. Was it a slip? Hope flickered. She'd been distracted, pregnancy brain, maybe, but disappointment loomed, her gaze on Derek too warm, too deliberate. I flashed back to our planning, Marissa's vague suggestions. Ask Derek, he's good with events, her late texts, running errands with D. I'd trusted her, chalked it up to friendship, but now, her toast was a warning sign I'd missed, a crack in our foundation. Is there something between them? The thought was a blade, my pride a bruise, the party's joy souring. Marissa joined me, her hand on my back, her voice soft. You okay, Cliff? Her hazel eyes, usually a comfort, were guarded, and I forced a nod, my voice low. Why'd you thank Derek? I planned this, Marissa. Paid for it, too. Her smile faltered, her hand dropping, her tone defensive. He helped a lot, you know that. I was just grateful. Her words were a dodge, her eyes avoiding mine, and my stomach twisted, anger stirring. Helped, I said, my tone sharper, the grill's heat mirroring my own. I spent weeks on this. You made it sound like it was his. She sighed, her voice tight. Don't make a scene, Cliff. It's not a big deal. Her dismissal was a sting, her loyalty a question, and I turned back to the grill, my heart sinking, the audience sensing my hurt in the clench of my fist. Derek approached, his polo crisp, his grin easy. Great party, man, he said, clapping my shoulder, his touch a spark to my anger. Thanks, I muttered, my eyes on the flames, my internal monologue seething. You didn't do this. Why is she giving you credit? I wanted to confront him, demand answers, but the crowd, my sister, Ellen, Marissa's cousins, kept me civil, my pride a fragile shield. Ellen, my older sister, caught my eye, her brow furrowed, her nurse's intuition sharp. She pulled me aside, the honeysuckle heavy, her voice low. "What's wrong, Cliff? You look like you got punched." I hesitated, my voice raw. Marissa thanked Derek for the party, not me. "I did everything, Ellen." Her eyes narrowed, her hand on my arm. "That's not right. Talk to her, but don't let it fester." Her support was a spark, but my confusion held, the betrayal too fresh. The party wound down, guests leaving, the backyard a mess of cups and streamers I clean alone. Marissa laughed with Derek by the balloon box, their ease a contrast to our tension, and I watched my internal monologue a storm. She's pulling away, and he's part of it. Hope clung. She loved me. Our son was ours, but disappointment was stronger, her toast a public wound, Derek's role a mystery. I remembered our early days, her hand in mine, our vows under these same oaks, a love I'd thought unshakable. Now, her betrayal, however small, was a crack, her gratitude to Derek a theft of my effort, my pride. I sat on the porch, the dusk settling, the cicadas a chorus to my thoughts. "I'm not invisible," I vowed, my anger a slow burn, a resolve forming. I'd uncover the truth, make Marissa see my worth, make Derek step back. The audience could feel the tension, my pain in the creak of the porch swing, the fire in my eyes as I stared at the lights I'd hung. The gender reveal was my gift, but Marissa's toast had turned it to ashes, a betrayal I wouldn't forgive easily. I, Clifford, hard-working and proud, was waking, my dignity a stone I'd polish, the sting of her words a spark that would guide me to answers, and maybe to justice. The Franklin dusk was a bruise of purple, the cicadas humming as I scrubbed the last mason jar in our kitchen sink, the gender reveal party's debris a reminder of my erasure. I, Clifford Ramsey, stood in our modest Tennessee home, my flannel sleeves rolled up, my hazel eyes shadowed with suspicion. At 35, I was a logistics manager, my life anchored by my wife, Marissa, and our unborn son, but her toast at the party, thanking our friend Derek, not me, for the event I'd pour my heart and $2,000 into, had cracked that anchor. Her betrayal, however small, fueled a growing doubt, my emotional unraveling a slow burn, the subtle clues about Derek and the tension with Marissa weaving a web of suspense that tightened with each passing day. The kitchen was quiet, the dishwashers hum a faint pulse, Marissa upstairs, her laughter absent since the party 2 days ago. I dry my hands, the dish towel rough, my internal monologue a churn. Why Derek? What's between them? Her words, to the man who made this happen, replayed, a wound that festered, her gaze on him too warm, his hand on her arm too familiar. Shame coiled in my gut. I'd planned every detail, spent our savings, yet she'd made me invisible, the crowd's applause for Derek a theft of my pride. Hope flickered. She'd misspoken, stressed by pregnancy, but disappointment anchored me, her dismissal when I confronted her, "Don't make a scene," a sign of something deeper, a crack I hadn't seen. Subtle clues about Derek piled like kindling. I noticed his texts on her phone, brief but frequent. "Need anything or swing by later?" She'd brushed them off. "He's just checking in." But their ease at the party, her laughter louder with him, gnawed at me. Yesterday, I'd found a receipt in her purse. Coffee for two at a cafe during her errands, the time matching a text from Derek. Just friends? I wondered, my heart racing, the receipt a weight in my hand. Flashback stung. Derek at our wedding, his arm around Marissa, his charm a contrast to my steady reliability. Her late nights recently. Work stuff with D. Her phone angled away. Was I blind? The thought was a splinter, my trust fraying, suspicion a tide I couldn't stem. The tension with Marissa was a taut wire, the audience feeling it in my tightened grip on the counter, the way I paused by the stairs, her closed bedroom door a barrier. I tried talking last night, the living room dim, her auburn hair loose, her eyes avoiding mine. Marissa, we need to clear this up, I said, my voice calm, my logistics manager's precision masking my hurt. Why do you thank Derek, not me? It's eating at me. She sighed, her sundress shifting, her tone sharp. Cliff, you're blowing this out of proportion. He helped grill, brought drinks. I was just being nice. Her deflection was a jab, her refusal to see my pain a betrayal, and I pressed, my voice raw. I paid for it, planned it. You gave him my moment. What's going on with you two? Her eyes flashed, defensive. Nothing's going on. You're paranoid. Her words cut, her retreat to bed a wall, my hope for honesty crumbling. Past flashbacks revealed cracks I'd ignored. The audience, sensing my reflection in the slow clink of jars as I stacked them. Our early years were golden. Marissa's laugh at the diner. Our first home, a fixer-upper we'd painted together, her hand in mine as we dreamed of kids. But Evelyn, her mother, had sown doubts, her voice sharp at dinners. Clifford sweet, but you could have aimed higher. Marissa's silences then, her nods, were warning signs, her ambition climbing as a real estate paralegal, outpacing my steady job. A low point. 2 years ago, her miscarriage, her grief isolating us, Derek's visits, just checking on her. More frequent, my trust unshaken then, but now a question. Was he always there, waiting? The memory was a weight, my pride bruised, my love for her a tether I wasn't ready to cut. I confided in my sister, Ellen, over coffee at her kitchen table, her nurse's eyes sharp, her blonde hair tied back. Marissa thanked Derek for the party, not me, I said, my voice low, the cafe's buzz fading. I'm starting to wonder about them. Ellen's brow furrowed, her hand on mine. That's not okay, Cliff. You deserve credit, and her brushing you off is wrong. Watch closely, but don't lose yourself. Her support was a lifeline, her warning a spark, my suspicion hardening. I'm not imagining this, I said, my tone firm. Something's off, and I need to know. Ella nodded, her voice steady. You're solid, Cliff. Whatever's happening, you'll handle it. Her faith was a stone, grounding me, my resolve a quiet vow to uncover the truth. The suspense built slowly, the audience feeling my unraveling in small moments. Checking Marissa's phone, guilt pricking, finding nothing but locked apps. Noticing Derek's car at our street's end, gone when I looked twice. I journal nightly, my words raw. She's slipping away, and he's part of it. I'm not nothing. The act was a release, my anger a slow burn, my pride a fire I'd stoke. Hope lingered. Marissa's touch this morning, her soft, love you, Cliff, a flicker of our bond. But disappointment was stronger, her secrecy a shadow, Derek's presence a taunt. I flashed back to our vows, her smile under the oaks, a love I'd fight for, but not blindly. I stood in the backyard, the party's lights still strung, the honeysuckle heavy. I'll find out what's happening, my internal monologue vowed, my suspicion a map, my dignity a compass. The audience could sense the tension, my pain in the creak of the porch step, the resolve in my eyes as I scanned the yard, the balloon box a ghost of my betrayal. Marissa's toast had stolen my moment, but I'd reclaim it, not with rage, but truth, a plan forming to confront her, to watch Derek, to stand tall. Clifford was breaking, but not broken, my heart a forge, the sting of her words a spark that would light my path to answers, and maybe to justice. The Franklin air was thick with September heat, the cicadas fading as I sat in my truck outside our Tennessee home, the engine idling, my hazel eyes fixed on the glowing screen of my phone. Clifford Ramsey, was 35, a logistics manager whose world had tilted since the gender reveal party 3 weeks ago, when my wife, Marissa, publicly thanked our friend Derek for the event I planned and funded. Her betrayal, to the man who made this happen, had sparked suspicion, and now my quiet investigation into Derek was peeling back layers of doubt, my heart caught between denial and painful realizations. The tension with Marissa, the clues piling up, and the voices of those I trusted wove a suspense that tightened, hints of a deeper betrayal cutting sharper than I'd feared. My emotional struggle was a storm, the audience feeling it in the tremor of my hands, the way I scrolled Derek's social media, his polished posts, open houses, client dinners, Marissa tagging photos I hadn't seen, a taunt. It's nothing, my internal monologue pleaded, denial a fragile shield. Marissa loved me. Our son was ours, her toast a mistake. But the receipts, coffee dates, her late nights with D, and her guarded phone, its passcode change, were cracks in that shield. What were you hiding? The question was a splinter, my pride bruised, my trust a fraying rope. I wanted to believe her, to hold our 7 years of marriage, her laugh, our vows, against the doubt, but each clue was a weight, pulling me toward a truth I dreaded. I began investigating subtly, my logistics manager's precision guiding me. At work, I used a break to search Derek's real estate listings, finding his schedule packed, yet he'd had time for Marissa's errands. I checked our bank records, guilt pricking, and found small withdrawals. $20 here, $15 there. Matching dates she'd been with him, too frequent for friendship. A photo on his profile, Marissa smiling at a winery, her hand on his arm, was dated a month ago, a day she'd said she was at work. She lied, I thought, my stomach twisting, denial crumbling, the realization a slow poison. Their connection was more than I'd imagined. Her toast not a slip, but a signal. The tension with Marissa was a live wire, the audience sensing it in our strained dinners. The way I watched her across the table, her auburn hair loose, her eyes avoiding mine. I tried confronting her, the kitchen dim, the dishwasher humming. Marissa, I need the truth, I said, my voice low, my heart racing. You and Derek, you're too close. The toast, the texts, the coffee receipts. What's going on? Her face paled, her hands gripping her glass, her voice sharp. Cliff, you're obsessed. He's a friend, that's all. Stop digging. Her defensiveness was a blade, her refusal to engage a confirmation, and I leaned forward, my tone raw. I planned that party, poured everything into it, and you gave him my moment. I deserve answers. She stood, her eyes wet, her voice trembling. You're pushing me away, Cliff. Let it go. Her retreat to the bedroom was a wall, my hope for honesty fading, my suspicion afire. External conversations deepened my conflict, the audience feeling my vulnerability in the quiet moments I sought clarity. I met my sister, Ellen, at her hospital break room, the fluorescent lights harsh, her nurse's scrubs wrinkled. I'm checking into Derek, I said, my voice low, my coffee cooling. Marissa's hiding something, Ellen. The party was just the start. Ellen's eyes softened, her hand on mine. Cliff, you're not crazy. Her thanking him like that was wrong, but be careful. If it's what you think, it'll break you. Her warning was a stone, her support a lifeline, but her words, if it's what you think, stirred fear, the possibility of an affair shadow I wasn't ready to face. I need to know, I said, my tone firm, my resolve hardening. I can't live in the dark. I confided in my coworker, Ray, over lunch at the trucking depot, the air thick with diesel. Ray, a grizzled driver, leaned back, his eyes sharp. Sounds like trouble, Cliff. Guy like Derek, all charm, moves in when you're not looking. Check his car, his hangouts. Bet you find her there. His advice was blunt, a spark to my investigation, but his pity, hate to see you played, stung, my pride a bruise. I nodded, my voice steady. I'll figure it out. His words fueled my drive. The audience, sensing my shift in the clench of my jaw, my denial fraying as I planned to tail Derek, to watch Marissa, to uncover the truth. Hints of a deeper betrayal emerged, the suspense a tightening coil. I drove by Derek's office one evening, my truck parked across the street, guilt warring with need. Marissa's car was there, her silhouette in his window, their laughter faint but real. My breath caught, my hands gripping the wheel, denial shattering. She's with him, not home. A text from her, late at work, lit my phone, a lie that burned, the realization a gut punch. I flashed back to a moment last year, Marissa's distance after her miscarriage, Derek's visits, her smile brighter with him. Was it always him? The memory was a weight, my love for her a tether stretched thin, my pride a fire I'd stoke. I stood in our backyard, the party's lights gone, the oak tree looming. I'm not invisible, my internal monologue vowed, my journal open, words raw. She's betraying me, and he's helping. I'll find proof, make her see me. The audience could feel my unraveling, my pain in the creak of the porch swing, my resolve in the steady scratch of my pen. Hope clung, Marissa's touch this morning, her soft, we're okay, right? But disappointment was stronger, her lies a shadow, Derek's rollerblade. Ellen's warning, Ray's advice, my clues, they were a map, my investigation a path to truth, my dignity a stone I'd sharpen. Clifford, was breaking open, my suspicion a compass, the sting of her toast a spark that would lead me to confront the betrayal, no matter how deep it ran. The Franklin night was a velvet shroud, the oak tree in our backyard casting jagged shadows across the porch where I stood, my breath shallow, my hazel eyes burning. Clifford Ramsey, was 35, a logistics manager whose world had unraveled since the gender reveal party 6 weeks ago, when my wife, Marissa, publicly thanked our friend Derek for the event I planned and funded. My investigation, receipts, texts, her car at his office, had fueled suspicion, and now, the truth was a fire I couldn't ignore. Tonight, I'd confront Marissa, the emotional fallout a storm of pain and resolve, my decision to walk away a breaking point, and the seed of a quiet, calculated revenge plan, rooted in self-respect, a spark that would build toward a climax I was only beginning to see. The confrontation came in our living room, the air heavy with the scent of Marissa's chamomile tea, the couch a battleground. She sat, her auburn hair loose, her 6-month bump visible under her sweater, her phone face down, a silent taunt. I'd spent the day replaying clues, her lie about work while at Derek's office, their winery photo, her locked apps, and my heart pounded, denial shattered, my internal monologue a vow. No more lies. I need the truth, whatever it costs. I stood, my flannel sleeves rolled up, my voice low, steady. Marissa, we're done dancing around this. You and Derek, what's going on? The toast, the texts, your car at his office. Tell me now. Her face paled, her hands trembling, her eyes darting to the floor. Cliff, it's not what you think, she said, her voice shaky, defensive. The audience could feel my tension, the clench of my jaw, the way I leaned forward, my logistics manager's precision masking my hurt. Don't lie, I said, my tone raw, my pride a bruise. I planned that party, spent our savings, and you thanked him. I saw you at his office. Marissa, when you said you were working. What's he to you? Her silence was a blade, her tears spilling, and she stood, her voice breaking. It's complicated. Derek's been there, helping listening. I didn't mean to hurt you. The truth poured out, a wound laid bare. After the miscarriage, she said, her eyes wet, I was lost. You were working, grieving your way, and Derek, he was there, checking in, making me laugh. It's not an affair, Cliff, I swear, but I leaned on him too much. The party, he suggested the balloons, helped set up. I got caught up, gave him credit. Her confession was a gut punch, not a physical betrayal, but an emotional one, deeper than I'd braced for. She chose him to lean on, not me, I thought, pain surging, my love for her a tether snapping. You let him into our marriage, I said, my voice trembling, anger rising. You lied, hid it, made me invisible in front of everyone. How's that not betrayal? The argument flared, the audience sensing the fallout in our raised voices, the way Marissa paced, her hands clutching her bump. I'm sorry, Cliff, she cried, her tone desperate. I love you. Our son's ours. I messed up, but don't throw us away. Her plea was a spark of hope, her love real, but her secrecy, her reliance on Derek, was a heavier weight, my disappointment a stone. You broke us, I said, my voice low, raw. I gave everything, and you gave him my place. I can't trust you. Her sobs filled the room, her hand reaching for mine, but I stepped back, my resolve a shield. I'm leaving, Marissa. I need space, maybe forever. You figure out who you want, me or him. The decision to walk away was a breaking point, the audience feeling my vulnerability in the tremor of my hand, the suitcase I'd packed by the door. I called my sister, Ellen, earlier, her nurse's voice steady over the phone. You're doing the right thing, Cliff, she'd said, her support a lifeline. Stay with me till you sort this out. I grabbed my keys, Marissa's cries echoing. Cliff, please, we can fix this. But I left, the doors click a final note, my heart heavy but unbowed. I drove to Ellen's, the Tennessee stars cold above. My pride afire, my pain a forge reshaping me. The emotional fallout was a tide, the audience sensing my grief in the quiet of Ellen's guest room. The way I stared at a photo of Marissa and me, our smiles a ghost. I wasn't enough for her, I thought, but denial was gone, replaced by a painful clarity. Her emotional reliance on Derek was a betrayal, her toast a public wound. My growth was in the resolve, my journal open, words raw. I'm not invisible. I'll make her see me, make him step back. The seed of revenge took root, quiet and calculated, rooted in self-respect, not rage. Derek's real estate business, his charm, was his armor, but I'd find a crack. His client reviews hinted at pushy tactics, a lead I'd follow. I'd expose him, not with lies, but truth, a way to reclaim my dignity, to show Marissa what she'd traded for. I confided in Ellen over breakfast, her kitchen warm with coffee and bacon, her eyes sharp. I'm done being erased, I said, my voice steady, my hands gripping the mug. Derek's not who he seems. I'll dig, find something to show her. Ella nodded, her voice firm. You're strong, Cliff, but don't let revenge eat you. Focus on you, your son. Her wisdom was a balance, her faith a spark, my plan sharpening. I'd research Derek's deals, his reputation, and share it discreetly, a mirror to his false charm, a lesson for Marissa to see my worth. The tension built toward a climax, the audience feeling my resolve in the steady clink of my keys, the way I drove past Derek's office. My truck a shadow, my investigation a vow. Hope lingered, Marissa's text. I love you, let's talk. A flicker of reconciliation, but pain was stronger, her betrayal a scar, Derek's role a taunt. I stood in Ellen's yard, the oak leaves falling, my journal a testament. I'll stand tall for me, for my son. Clifford, was walking away, my revenge a quiet fire, my dignity a stone I'd wield, the sting of her toast a spark that would light a reckoning, the truth a blade I'd sharpen for the fight ahead. The Franklin October was a tapestry of gold and rust, the oak tree in our backyard shedding leaves like memories as I stood in Ellen's guest room, my suitcase packed, my hazel eyes steady in the mirror. Clifford Ramsey was 35, a logistics manager whose life had fractured since the gender reveal party 2 months ago. When my wife, Marissa, thanked our friend Derek for the event I'd pour my heart and savings into. Her emotional betrayal, leaning on Derek, lying, erasing me, had driven me to leave, my confrontation with her a breaking point. Now, my revenge, a smart, calculated strike rooted in self-respect, was ready, a plan to expose Derek's deceit and reclaim my dignity, my transformation of fire that would light a path to empowerment and closure. The emotional fallout from leaving Marissa had been a storm, the audience feeling my pain in the quiet nights at Ellen's, the way I'd traced Marissa's texts. I'm sorry, Cliff, come home. Unanswered, her loyalty still torn. My investigation into Derek, sparked by his role in Marissa's betrayal, had uncovered a truth. His real estate business thrived on charm, but hit a trail of complaints. Clients pressured into bad deals, contracts skewed for his gain. I'd spent weeks cross-referencing reviews, public records, and a tip from Ray, my coworker, who'd heard whispers of Derek's shady tactics. My plan was precise, not vengeful destruction, but a mirror to his deceit, a way to show Marissa who she'd chosen over me, to reclaim my place as the man who'd built our life. The execution came at Derek's annual client appreciation event, a polished affair at a Franklin country club, its lawns glowing under string lights, the air sharp with cedar and wine. I'd moved to a small rental, my separation a boundary I held, my focus on our unborn son and my own worth. Marissa was there, her 7-month bump visible, her auburn hair pinned, her eyes catching mine as I entered, uninvited but composed, my flannel swapped for a blazer, my glasses polished. Derek, in a tailored suit, worked the crowd, his grin a mask I'd shatter. I'd sent an anonymous packet to key clients, bankers, developers, detailing Derek's overvalued listings and coercive deals, backed by records and testimonials, my logistics precision ensuring it was factual, legal, and damning. The confrontation was quiet, the audience sensing my control and my steady stride, the fire behind my calm. Whispers spread, clients clutching my packet, their murmurs a tide as Derek's speech faltered, his eyes darting to me. I approached, my voice low, for him alone. You took credit for my work, Derek, and you've been taking more from Marissa. Now they see you for what you are. His face paled, his charm cracking, the crowd's gaze await. A banker stepped forward, his voice sharp. Is this true, Derek? You sold me that overpriced lot. Murmurs grew, clients peeling away, Derek's empire of trust crumbling, my revenge a mirror to the erasure he'd inflicted at the party. Marissa pulled me aside, her hand trembling, her eyes wet with shock and guilt. Cliff, did you do this? She asked, her voice a whisper, the club's hum fading. I nodded, my tone soft, vulnerable but firm. I had to Marissa. You gave him my moment, leaned on him, lied to me. I'm worth more than that. Her tears fell, her voice breaking. I was wrong, Cliff. I cut him off, told him to stay away. I love you, our son needs us. Her confession was a spark of hope, her effort real, but my resolve held, my separation a stand for self-respect. I love you too, I said, my heart raw, but I need time, trust rebuilt. I'll be there for our son, but we start slow. She nodded, her hand lingering, the audience feeling my strength in my steady gaze, my vulnerability in the tremor of my voice. Derek's reaction was a flare, his voice sharp as he cornered me by the bar, the crowd watching. You ruined me, Cliff, he spat, his charm gone, his clients gone. I stood tall, my voice calm, commanding. You ruined yourself, Derek. You crossed into my marriage, took what wasn't yours. Truth caught up. The words were a blade, my dignity a crown, his humiliation a poetic justice for the sting of Marissa's toast. He stormed off, the rune's judgment his new shadow, my plan a triumph of truth over deceit. The emotional impact was a tide, the audience sensing my catharsis as I drove to my rental, the Tennessee stars bright above. Marissa's apology, Derek's downfall, were victories, but the scar, her betrayal, my erasure, remained a map of my growth. I'd reclaimed control, not just of the narrative, but of my life, my focus on my son, my work, my worth. Ellen met me for coffee, her nurse's eyes warm. You stood up, Cliff, she said, her grin wide. Proud of you. I nodded, my voice steady. I needed them to see me, Ellen, not as a shadow, but a man. Her hug was a stone, grounding me, my transformation a quiet flame. I returned to logistics, my routes a rhythm, my journal a testament. I'm enough for me, for my son. Marissa and I began talking, her efforts to rebuild trust a star, but I held my boundary, living alone, healing. I volunteered at a community center, teaching kids about trucks, my pride and new foundation. The audience could feel my empowerment, my resolve in the steady scratch of my pen. The way I hung a new photo, me and Ellen, laughing, a family I'd always have. Closing reflection. I stood in my backyard, the oak tree bare, a single blue balloon from the party caught in its branches, a ghost I'd let go. Marissa's toast had broken me. Derek's shadow had tested me. But I'd risen, my revenge a mirror, not a torch, exposing truth to reclaim my dignity. The scar was there, a mark of pain, but also proof I could forge strength from betrayal. My son a future I'd build with pride. I'd faced their storm and found my own light. A lesson for anyone watching. When they try to erase you, stand tall, wield truth, and let your worth shine. I, Clifford, was whole, my heart open to love, to life, my path a vow of empowerment, the unseen hand now mine, its grip steady, its fire a beacon that would never fade.